everything connects to about 35 grand Bitcoin being the low. And I'm going to simplify all of the stuff that you're seeing right here. I don't want to be that type of person, but I do want to entertain and show that, hey, this is actually a bigger possibility than you may think. Let's just put emotions aside. Let's put hope aside. And let's look at just probabilities. There are really 3 scenarios here. If we go on the 3-month chart, right, you'll see that overall Bitcoin goes up. You know, this was 2017 bull market, and then it goes down, right? And then it goes up again. This is 2021, and then it goes down, and then it goes up again, 2025, and then it goes down. But this is the red flag that I'm seeing. So when Bitcoin does go into a bear market and comes down, right, as you can see, it always lands above the previous cycle high, right? See that green? It didn't hit it. Same with this one. When it came all the way down here, it didn't hit this high all the way over here, right? See this high? It didn't hit it, right? So what if we have a scenario where it comes down, right? It doesn't tap this, okay? My base case is that it does tap this, right? It does tap, maybe not all the way here, like right here, 70,000, 69,000, so on and so on. Okay, if it taps it and it goes up, that's cool. That's scenario number 1. And you'll be able to tell because you'll see bullishness. You'll see that buyers do step in. It starts to actually form a bullish structure. There's a lot of different ways. Inshallah, I'm going to cover it on this channel when the time does come, right? Because just because it hit that target doesn't mean you buy. You don't just buy because it's like, oh, it might, you never buy off of a might. No, you look at the actual probabilities. If this happens and then this happens, therefore 80% chance that this will happen, and then I will buy. But if this happens, then that 80% becomes now 20%, and therefore I will cut my loss. This is how you actually have to trade. You can't just trade off of hoping and like, oh yeah, no, I hope it's gonna bounce off of this just like it always does. If it finds support here, amazing. Maybe I won't buy right at the bottom, but I'll buy maybe a little bit higher, which would not matter because at least my risk to reward is way better. If it comes down, it creates that low, right? And then boom, higher low, so on and so on. There'll be a lot of other factors that we'd have to look at. It's not just as simple as this. And then if I'm buying like right here at the next low, right, my risk is actually only this area, right? Because hey, I'm like, if it comes back down here and goes under, that's my risk and I get out, right? But if I'm buying right here, there's no low yet. It's just I'm buying right here. My risk is that it just goes lower. Where's the next support? You know, you have to wait for it to at least boom. And now you have a support here. You have something to, that's your risk. If and when it does, I'll be here to cover it, inshallah. But the point is, what if it doesn't? What if it actually crashes under that 70 grand, right? It does a little rally, but then it forms a lower low, meaning it comes all the way down here, it bounces, and then it boom right here, and it forms a lower low. So that means it's still in a bear. It did not recover. In that case, I would not see Bitcoin recovering up until the next target would be around this 30k mark, which is halfway of this. Like it's the half zone. So if we take this bull cycle right in the half area is about 36 grand, right? And then if it doesn't recover that, then I'm not gonna lie to you, Bitcoin is completely dead. Like I don't see a scenario where Bitcoin is, some people are saying like 14 grand and stuff. I don't see a scenario where that would be a good buy opportunity. I see a scenario where like at that point it's basically cooked, like it's dead, right? Like there's something that happened, got hacked, like who knows. But here, right, 30 grand or whatever, from all-time high, that would be a 70% drop. It may sound like a lot, but last cycle from all-time high to all-time low, 77% drop. The cycle before that, all-time high where that wick is all the way down to the all-time low, 83% drop. So for it to go from all-time high all the way down here, a 70% drop is 35 grand, right? 77 is 28 grand. I'm saying like about, if it does not bounce off of this area, then 100%, that's the only thing left, is that it comes down to 30-ish grand area. And as long as the fundamentals are still there, meaning that like, you know, it didn't get hacked, it didn't get like there's nothing like crazy where it's like, hey, it actually is worth nothing anymore, right? If everything is still the same, it just so happens that a black swan event happens, war, recession, like anything that just crashes the market, probably everything will be down at this point, right? And if it's just that, like the macro is why everything is down, but the Bitcoin itself is still the exact same, and it's at 30 grand, I would definitely buy it. Nothing can outweigh market psychology and behavior of just people buying and selling, right? Fear and greed, and nothing can outweigh real life survivability. When crap hits the fan, people will sell, okay? They will sell their stuff so that they can cover themselves, so that they can cover their bills and everything like that. Look at the Great Depression. Look at 2008 housing market crisis. 2 more things and the video's over. 2 more reasons why that would be the area if it doesn't find support here. So one of the reasons why I called 126k is because there's an all-time resistance right here. So there's an all-time resistance, right? Meaning, so from 2017, if you connect the high from there and the high of 2021, right? If I really get this right, you'll see that it actually does tap it. Let me show you. If I get them on the actual candles and not the wicks, this is actually more accurate, right? So candle to candle, right? So right there, you'll see that the next time that it went up, that's where it ended, is right off there, right? And it came down. And then here, this area, it topped, right? This is what you call a double top, right? Actually, this is what you call a double top. Let me show you something. So you have a top, oops, a top and a top, right? Double top, and then it went down. Also, you have a top and a top. So double top, and it went down here. And then same here. Top, double top, and it went down. But then this whole overall thing is as a top and top. And then, so that's like a quadruple top. And then it came down, right? But look what happened here. This is 2025, January. And then right now, you know, Q4 of 2025, and then this is where we're at, right? Look at this. We have a top, double top, and then it went down. And where was that top and double top? Not only was it a top and double top, but it was a top and double top on that same resistance. It's happened here, it's happened here, and then it happened here and happened here, right? And then it happened here too, right here, right here, right? And then it finally went up, top, double top, went down. Top, double top, went down. That's a quadruple top, and then another quadruple top. That's a quadruple quad. Since 2017, it's respected that all-time high resistance. Now, where is the all-time low support? We'll fix it in a bit. So let's start here, and then let's put it here. So there we go. And then also let's take this yellow and this yellow, right? So kind of that high and that high-ish, and we'll draw a line in the middle of it, that 50% mark that I was talking about. So let's draw a line in that 50% mark. So now that we have that 50% mark, I'll delete this and I'll delete this. So now we just have our 50% mark here. We have our all-time resistance up here, and we have our all-time support right here, which I'm going to draw another one, and just from this to this, and also yellow. Now that we have that, there's one more thing in play, is the 4-year cycle. I know this looks like a lot. Just follow with me. So this all-time resistance, all-time low support, that's the halfway mark that we're looking at, right? And so this, it just tells you where the Bitcoin cycles are at, when you should start taking profit, when you should end, so on and so on, when the halvings are, so on and so on. Let me turn on DCA. From the end to where you should start buying is about 55-ish bars. So from here, let's take 55 bars is around right here. This is like a give or take, by the way. You know, I'm not doing this like exactly on the dot because it's not really going to matter. Right here. So around here is where it's projected, based on the 4-year cycle, that this would probably be the lows, not the exact low. Okay, the exact low, there's another way to get that. Like October 6th, there was actual mathematical way I actually got October 6th on the dot. All right, 2026, I believe, is, I forgot the exact date. I'm gonna make another video inshallah on that. So this is giving us May 2026, so really it's gonna be around like here. So I'm gonna just make another line just in case I'm wrong. So let's put it like right here. So now let's see, are there any points? Yes, there are actually a lot of points where this connects. Right here is a good point where this connects, where it's like confluence on top of confluence on top of confluence. So we have the 50% line, we have right there this line of where we should be buying, and around this one, so in between these two, and we have these all-time low supports, right? So this rectangle right here, okay, so around this rectangle will kind of be my all-time, this is like a really good buy zone. There's two buy zones, right? So there's the buy zone right here, which is previous all-time high, and if it doesn't support that and it actually goes under it, my real buy zone of like, I would be very happy to buy here, right here. It basically Q3, Q4 2026, so by the end of the year. People are saying that by the end of next year, Bitcoin's going to be at 150k, a million, and 500,000. I would love that, but no, that's so unrealistic. By the way, you have to understand. I said this in the other video. In 2021, when Bitcoin dumped all the way down here and then it went up, the government was giving everybody 3 rounds of free money stimulus checks. They were giving people loans, and I'm pretty sure you didn't even have to pay them back. It was just free money. Everybody just had money. People were quitting their jobs, filing for unemployment, and they were getting more money than the people that were working. People had money to invest. 2025, they took away people's food stamps. You think they're going to invest in Bitcoin? Let's be real here, chat. Oh, but institutions are buying now. Oh, ETFs, like all these like players, countries are buying. Oh, exactly. If everybody's buying, there's no more buyers. The very last thing I want to show you on the weekly, this is my indicator. It's just a bunch of MAs. You can get this for free. Not my indicator. I don't have it public yet, but it's just a bunch of moving averages. So check this out. There's 3 of these lines. Very easy, right? 3 lines. Look. The first line, which is the green, it's just kind of tells you bull market is over. Look, last cycle, once it crossed under it, that's it. Bull market's over. It tried to get back up, and then plus it's done. Here, it kind of bounced off of it. Right, so it's never kind of crossed it except for now. Now it's crossed it. Bear market's over. It might come back to try to retest it, but so on and so on. So that's what that one is for. Then there's the 200. So this red one, the last cycle or 2017, it found a support there. Look, it bounced right off of that one. Boom, perfect. It came all the way up. It came all the way here, and it bounced off of it, right? But it didn't bounce off of it the next cycle. Okay, so that's the 200, right? But if you do 350, that one bounced off of it in the next cycle. So we got 200 and we got 350. So what's next? 600. Yeah. So let's say 600. Right? This one is more of a conspiracy, but it lines up. Doesn't it line up? Don't you think? I'm going to draw a circle where that's at. I'm going to kind of show you where it's projected to go. Kind of line up the circle right there so we can kind of see where it's projected to go. Oh, wow. Wow. What do we have here? Right in that rectangle. Oh. You're a genius, Mr. Krabs. Oh my god. So again, I would love for it to bounce here. If it doesn't, I would even more love for it to bounce here in this zone. This is the time, date, and price. Now, do I have a crystal ball? No, I have a green ball. Now, if I catch this ball 5 minutes later. Anyways, bro, when it comes to trading, there's a lot of this type of stuff where it's like, if this, boom, put it together, conspiracy. Right there, the white box. Oh my god, if it comes down there, even just going back to the previous all-time high, it's 240%. That's a more than 2x your money. Look, I know probabilities, but I don't know mathematically. I don't know percentages, and so I don't really need to. You know, I didn't just pull this number out of my butt. Like, clearly there's reason. None of this is financial advice. It's just me giving my thesis, and I don't know anything. That being said, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe for the real deal. Love you, take care. Salam.